Welcome to the Star in Frisco, where we are about to be underway with the first ever Adrenaline All-American game for the girls. I am Matt Kinnear, Editor-in-Chief of Inside Lacrosse, joined by Rachel DeCecco, Tewaaraton winner and the COO of the WPLL Foundation. Rachel, you excited to be here?
So excited to be here, especially to be part of this inaugural game. This is the first time they've had this girls event, and it's so great to be a part of it.
You know, this game showcases a lot of the growth of the sport, and on the West Coast specifically. We're looking at the North roster here, you know, started by Tessa Guerrero. What do you see from these North players?
You know, I see a lot of growth in this area, in Texas and in California, and really just you see that some of the colleges that they're going to, they really are sort of spreading their wings and going to different places. We even have a Canadian, Jasmine Ward is a Canadian box player on this team, so and we'll be heading to Dartmouth College. So really these girls are getting noticed by colleges and being able to be recruited by Division I schools. You know,
an event like this is only going to help support that and support that growth of, you know, just the West Coast, but not only where they play in high school, where they play their club, but where they're going after that and what they're going to do. You have a big part of where they're going after that, and the WPLL is going to be an option after college for them. So it's really good to see, you know, from the north side of the West Coast and the south side of the West Coast, so much talent. And, you know, a lot of these girls here that we're talking about are high in the recruiting rankings. You know, they're going to be impact players in college, and they're not from the traditional areas of the country.
Yeah, and when you see sort of how they got started in the game, a lot of it was their brothers, their dads. They were soccer players, and I think as time goes on, these girls are going to be picking up the lacrosse stick early because they want to, not because they heard about somebody that played it. They're going to have role models and older sisters that played, not so much just their brothers and their dads. So it's really exciting to see the growth. You know, and the WPL, we have regions all across the country in some of these non-traditional areas to really help them, to expose them to lacrosse and also to bring the talent together from all parts of the country.
You know, we're looking at the All-American North rosters. You know, these are players who come from, you know, not Southern California, but, you know, from Northern California, places like Oregon. You know, you have a lot of, you know, players from Texas, you know, not just, you know, I think Southern California, you know, the South roster that we're about to look at next has been on the map for a while, but we're starting to get, you know, just outside of just the Southern California enclave into some, you know, some different places as well.
Yeah, and these girls are truly trailblazers for their sport. They're the first ones playing in this game, and we've got people like Haley Andrea, defender from Mater Dei, who's going to go after this game and go play at Kent State for their first season. So these girls are truly blazing trails in the state of Texas and beyond.
You know, we're looking at the South roster right now. We're coming up on Haley Reardon, you know, the University of Oregon. You know, that's a program in the Northwest that has had some success and plays in you know, the Pac-12, which is, you know, one of the biggest stories in all of lacrosse right now, is the formation of that conference and how that's going to help spur this growth on the West Coast. Rachel, you know, think back to your days when you were this age. What, you know, would having your name introduced at a moment like this, what would it mean to you?
I mean, to these girls, they think their high school careers are done, and then they get to come be a part of something this special, especially the first one. I mean, I think it's a badge of honor for them, and this is something that they will always have. And as this event continues to grow, you know, they can say, I was here at the first one, and I was part of it, and I helped pave the way for future years, you know, of this All-American Classic.
We're coming up on Zoe Durham, was just introduced, midfielder from Highland Park High School, going to Yale University. One thing I'm really, truly impressed with, you know, in both the boys game and the girls game, is the number of high academic schools that these players are going to. You know, it's something that lacrosse offers. You know about it from playing in the Ivy League. It's just one of the great things that this sport offers to young men and women is the ability to use their talents to make their lives better and go pursue academic dreams that are really noble and excellent goals.
Yeah, I mean, the WPLL does provide a spot for women to play after college, but you know, that time is limited. So being able to go to a Yale, a Princeton, you know, helps these girls with careers after their lacrosse careers is over. And I think the education that they're going to get while being able to play lacrosse, you know, will serve them for a lifetime. So it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see some of the great schools that these girls are going to, and I applaud the coaches that took the time to come to Texas and watch these girls and maybe take a risk on some non-traditional areas.
You know, taking a risk, but that's how you get some excellent talent, and how you also you get some excellent talent, and that's how you also, you know, help grow the game, is by taking some risks. We're going to send it down to field level and honor our nation with the national anthem.
We have the United States of America.
1,
We are back after the national anthem. The first ever Adrenaline All-American game being played here at the Star in Frisco. Rachel, this venue, you know, if you're, put yourself in the mindset of, if you're walking out onto this field right now and about to play in a game that's, you know, being streamed nationally, getting a lot of attention, got to be some nerves, but a lot of excitement.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than this stage. You're playing, playing at the Star in Dallas, home of the Cowboys practice facility. So just a really cool spot for these girls to play and to play on such a big stage. You know, and talking to them before the game, they're all just excited and truly honored and humbled to be part of it. You can just tell how special they all know this is and how grateful they all are to be playing in this game.
We're going to start looking at some key players here from the North roster. Anna Clark, number 1 on your in blue, is going from St. Ignatius College Prep.
She's headed to Tufts University. It's sort of a lacrosse family. Her dad played at Cornell. Her brother played at Bucknell. So she's in some good company there in her family with lacrosse players.
Katie Brodsky from the North, Mercer Island High School.
Yep, playing at the new Arizona State program coached by Maryland great Courtney Cook-Martinez. So that's very exciting for her to head out there and be part of that new program.
Continuing here to look at the North roster, Charlie Rudy from Novato High School, number 14 on your screen.
Yeah, a Northern California kid, which really, Northern California lacrosse has just exploded. And I think it's a hotbed now. A few years ago, that wasn't the case. So no surprise that we have a fair amount of Northern California kids playing in this game.
The players starting to get in position and line up for this game. A lot of excitement. We're going to look at some of the players on the South roster. Megan Carney from John Paul II High School, representing the South.
Yeah, I mean, she's headed to Syracuse, play for Gary Gate, a storied program with a long history. So I spoke to her a little bit before the game, and she's just really excited to be headed to such a strong program with a great legacy.
Sophia LaRoche from Torrey Pines, a high school that's been on the map for a long time with the talent that they bring in out from out west.
Yeah, and headed to Duke University, and we've got Charlotte North, who had a great freshman year from a non-traditional area in Texas. So Duke is doing their homework and bringing some kids in from non-traditional areas.
We have the opening draw here to kick off this game, and we get a whistle right away.
Looks like a restraining line violation there for the North team.
Caitlin Jones takes it and gets it back to her goaltender. We're going to have a long clear here. Megan Carney, one of our players to watch, gets a touch of it early, see if she can make something happen here in the early going. In the last game that we just did, the boys game, it was a little bit of a, there was a goal right off the opening faceoff. There wasn't that feeling out time. And it looks like it's going to be the same again today. Carney, our player to watch from the South, with the lefty goal, really starts this game, just coming out on fire. She saw something here and just capitalizes. Looks like a little bit of a defensive mistake that she's able to take advantage of.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a little bit of nerves here in that opening whistle, trying to get their feet under them, and Megan took advantage of that. She did a great job with the lefty goal.
Going back to the draw, one of the things that we'll talk a lot about during this is just some of the ways that the rules have been changed, and the draw is an exciting part of the game in women's lacrosse that, I think we've seen some. The stick technology has made a difference in the draw and lots of other things, but a lot of rules that have made the game a lot better, and that's something that the WPLL is really been a leader in as well. Yeah, I mean, when we look at the pace of the game and what we want it to be in the future, we've really made some rule adjustments. 60-second shot clock, we have a 2-point shot, a running clock, so you see these girls increase the pace of the game and make it really exciting to watch. The South unable to clear. Let's see if the North can take advantage of this. And what a save there from goalie Sophia LaRose from Torrey Pines High School going to Duke. Another one of our players to watch is really standing out here in the early part of the game. That was an incredible save. Yeah, and and that shooter, she has a left hand up, really would just fake high and shoot low. She was up high. She shot right into the goalie stick there. So just take that extra second, throw a fake in and drop it in low. I remember my high school coach vividly throwing his stick and yelling, fake high, shoot high. Whenever we had fake high, shoot high, it was one of those things that drove him crazy. Yeah. But excellent poise from the goalie to stick with it and make that save, and that's going to have some momentum early. Building that momentum for a goalie has got to be huge and got to be key. Yeah, definitely give her a little bit of confidence saving a ball that was really right in her face there. And on the other end, You know, the goalies in the last game, we saw them kind of really get hot in the second half. Here, the first half looks like we're going to have some outstanding goalie play. Katie McGrath going to Butler University from Novato High School with the big save there on the crease. Now the North is going to come into the zone with some speed there. Anna Clark showing off some wheels. She's going to Tufts University.
Yeah.
Wow, excellent goal there from Brianne Gross with the score. The midfielder going to Vanderbilt from Oak Ridge High School.
And that was a great take to goal. I think, you know, obviously this defense hasn't played together yet, but not a lot of help defense come to slide in and stop the momentum of her drive. So something that they're going to need to look to do to, you know, stay in this, really stop that ball and keep her from going right to goal.
So you know a thing or two about defense. You know, you were the first Tewarton winner and I believe the only Tewarton winner to be a defender.
This is true, and yeah, I'm always kind of looking at the defense more than the offense to see what they're doing. I think it's tough. You know, defense is definitely a team approach. So when you haven't played with girls, it can be a little tough to kind of get used to people's habits and patterns and when to slide and when you're going to need help. So I think as the game goes on, they'll get a little more confident playing with each other, and we'll see some defensive stops. The
last line of defense is the goalie, and there was two really key saves early in this game from our goalies. That really kind of maybe set the tone for this one. That shot goes out of bounds, but backed up. North, I think we have, yes we do, Brianne Gross with her second goal of the game. Really quick release there off the pass from behind. Great vision here from behind the net to find this pass and then just bury the shot. Really kind of got that ball from, once she started her shot to when the ball's in the back of the net, seemed like it was a blink of an eye.
Yeah, a lot of poise. She showed a lot of poise with that shot. Yeah, we saw it in the men's game, just how important that possession is. The face-off was dominant on the South. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of go up against each other with these draw controls, because it really sets the tone for momentum, getting these possessions, after a goal.
What are you looking for from a technical perspective when you're watching a draw control?
So, I mean, what I'm looking for obviously, you got the girls in the middle doing the draw. So, obviously, stick control. If they're trying to get it to themselves, you've got to be able to get up high and control it as soon as it touches your stick. And then the girls on the circle need to be able to rush in, and whether it be block it out, go for the ball, but play that role to support the center draw.
North with another opportunity goes wide, so the South's going to have an opportunity to try to clear here. We did see them fail one clear already in this game, in this short game here.
And not surprisingly, there's a lot of transitions that are runs. These girls don't know each other, and they maybe don't know who to pass to and sort of the pattern. So we've seen a lot of girls trying to just run it up the field, which this will tire them out if that's the pattern that they keep doing.
You expect in a game like this that first, few minutes, maybe the first entire half, it's going to be a little bit of a lack of cohesion. But as the game goes on, these players kind of get to learn to play with each other. That's a great takeaway right there.
Ooh. Got caught on the check. There was a great redefense, staying with that play. The check was a little bit too close to the head there.
That's Kelly McKinnon, the defender there. She's going to be going to San Diego State University from Torrey Pines High School. Again, playing really aggressive.
Yeah, that's great pressure by the defense on that ride, really double teaming her, trying to slow down that ball, give the defense time to recover.
Megan Carney in the mix there. She has the goal for the South. Pretty tenacious there on the ride.
That is some great one-on-one defense there. She didn't need to check. She just kept her feet steady, arms strong, and the attacker dropped the ball. That's exactly what you want to see in a 1v1 defender. And
you've used the word poise a few times, describing both offense and defensive players, but to me that shows some incredible poise. She could have definitely moved her feet. She could have won for some kind of wild move there, but really just stayed in front of her and held her ground.
Absolutely. That was textbook one-on-one.
Quick stick opportunity there. Good opportunity from Charlie Rudy from Novato High School, going to University of Colorado Boulder. Little in tight, though. The goalie had, no problem making that save, but a good look inside. The South here going to try to maybe slow it down and maybe calm the nerves a little bit here. The last possession was a little bit, some good defensive plays from the North defenders, but maybe the South just needs to take a little step back and kind of calm things down.
Yeah, you see a lot of movement in that 8. Looks like they're opening up for a 1v1 here. Shot a little high there.
Megan Carney, clearly one of the players that's going to be a go-to player for this South team. You know, the ball's been in her stick a lot, and she's been going to net and trying to make stuff happen. They're trying to clear some space for her to do that and score. She already has 1 goal in this game already. Megan controlling the ball from up top here. Rachel, what do you see? What do you see in this defensive set here?
I was just say the North is coming out pretty far, so they're putting pressure on outside the 12, which is interesting. You see a double team there. It shows a lot of confidence. I think they're not afraid to go out and risk being beat on the one-on-one. I think they're doing a great job slowing this down, staying calm and controlled, staying tight on those cutters, and it's bringing up a little bit of a challenge here for the South team.
You can see clearly that Megan Carney is a focus of their offense. Defense, how are they, going to try to, is that in the back of their head that, this is the player to go to? What do you do? Is it too early to really make any bold, changes to the way you play?
Well, I think she has established herself as a strong player on the South, so you have to take notice of it. Whoever's marking her needs to be ready for her to go to goal, and the defenders need to be ready to slide. So I think I'm certain that they've already recognized that and are going to play her tight the rest of this game.
It was just a last look at that last attempt. Gabriella Abadesa, with the help there on defense, kind of caused that broken play there. Good defensive effort from her.
Yeah, she'll be playing at Stony Brook, which had an amazing season this year. Really made a name for themselves and have some great players coming out of there. Kylie Oldmiller, Courtney Murphy. Got a strong group that's playing pro. That's just a nice play, an unselfish play. With the 8-meter, she could have taken that in, but she saw the girl open at the bottom there and really made the smart play, smart, unselfish play.
Unselfish is good, and we're going to take it down to field level, where Lauren Lee is going to give us the perspective from down there on the field.
Thanks, Matt and Rachel. I'm here with Alyssa Murray, U.S. team member and Syracuse alum. Megan Carney opening up this game with the first goal for the South team. What are some of the things you talk about to these girls in the locker room, especially someone that is going to be attending Syracuse in the fall?
Yeah, it's mostly, this is an all-star game where I'm telling them to do something crazy, do something that's Sports Center worthy, but just to have fun, showcase all their skill, that they put in a lot of work to get here, and just play loose and have fun.
Right. So you have done a lot of branching out with this sport. You are here in Texas. This is now your hometown. You were the Iron Horse director and coach for them. What has it been like spreading the knowledge to these Western players?
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. I live in Austin, Texas, and that's a beautiful place. It's a really desirable location, and just pretty new for the girls there. The boys are a little bit ahead of us with development, but it's just been a lot of fun because it's a great new sport, and kids want to play, and they want to be outside doing it, and the luxury is that we can do it all year round. So it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Alyssa. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lauren and Alyssa. Talking to Alyssa Murray, someone who's helping grow the sport in non-traditional areas. We have a goal, though, before we get into that. Madison Souza, San Ramon Valley, going to Vanderbilt University with that score. We're going to check it out here on replay. Rachel, what do you see here?
Really, just the defense had 2, and she just turned her head for that 1 second, and really looks like they had a double team somewhere off the ball that was unnecessary and left those girls wide open. That defender had to make a choice, and the cutter just went right behind her. That was great recognition by Madison to see that she was open and make that cut.
Really good awareness. It was only a millisecond there, and she had it well timed and made the good cut and finished it. Back to talking about Alyssa. She's one of the, one of these athletes who's spreading the sport in some non-traditional areas, and that's something you've seen a lot of, Rachel, with what you do with the WPLL, but also just the great athletes who have come through the college ranks and doing so much to move the sport forward.
Absolutely. We've got, Taylor Thornton, who's sort of famous in Texas, really kind of put Texas on the map in terms of lacrosse and is now playing professionally. Some kids out in California now, and you see those programs grow. You got the Pac-12 out there now. So, I think as time goes on, it's only going to get stronger in some of these areas.
How big is that Pac-12 move for lacrosse?
I think it's huge. I think it was competitive this year. You've got USC, you've got Oregon. There were some really good battles, and I think it'll be interesting to see sort of who becomes the powerhouse in that conference. I think it's really up for grabs at this point.
Kelly McKinnon with that goal, 5-hole. Looks like the goalie was in decent position, but just, that's always just a tough spot to be in.
Yep. It was a great shot. She came in high, just dropped it low, as we talked about that a little bit before. There's no need to try and go high when you're coming in high. She just did that little fake and was able to sneak it in there.
Took an awkward bounce when it got into the net, just over the goal line, and then bounced up to the top of the net. She's going to go back out there and take the ensuing draw after scoring her goal. Versatility of these players is really what amazes me. These players who can take draws, who can score, who can play defense, really just some incredible athletes in the game.
And you see here, these two players are taking a different draw approach. One of them's got her hand up, one of them's got it under. So, I think there's a lot of opinions about what the best way to do a draw, but you see here 2 different ways that these girls are both taking the draw. Interesting to see who comes out on top.
The draws can be, such a pivotal part of the game, and we saw James Madison, win the Division I national championship, and there was thought that they didn't have a good enough draw specialist going to that tournament, but clearly, the Dukes proved everyone wrong and made an incredible run, incredible story in lacrosse this year.
Yeah, it was a fun team to watch. I mean, the Final Four was incredible. You couldn't really ask for much more as a lacrosse fan. Just the level of play and the intensity. Those girls really just did an amazing job. You see here, it looks like the white South team has a chaser, so they basically are double teaming the ball all the time. They have one person running around trying to double team, which is an interesting strategy, but it looks like it's working pretty well. They're getting some turnovers.
Just had Lydia Faust get some speed and take a shot, but we had a whistle before she was able to get the ball out of her stick. She's headed to Marquette. She's going to have a free position opportunity here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she had a little bit of time there. She saw that net wide open and took a shot, but she really wasn't no one really came to mark her. So a few more steps in, she could have had a little bit of a better opportunity to score there.
Showed off some speed coming in from the bench there from Jasmine Ward going to Dartmouth College. Really feels pretty evenly matched so far. North has 4 goals. I think their offensive possessions have been a little bit better, but right now, I don't really feel like that one team's going to run away with this game.
No, everybody seems to have settled in. They're playing good defense, taking their time on the ball, and these teams seem pretty evenly matched. That's just good defensive positioning on that cut there. She saw the cut, just held her body strong.
Brianne Gross has been having a heck of a game early, and she's been active in all the plays, really making some good off-ball cuts. I believe her 3 goals have all come from some sort of really good off-ball movement that she was able to capitalize on, just a fraction of a second and make the right play. We see
a turnover there, but a lot more confidence in the transition. You see they're moving the ball a lot quicker, not feeling like they need to run it up the field the whole way. Just a little overthrow there.
Lydia Faust going with the long pass. That would have been an incredible one-on-one there. Fun to take some of these risks in a game like that. Just a little bit too much on that ball. Now we have the South looking to attack. Anna Clark running with it. She gets it to the left side of the field. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Bailey Monzajeb who was carrying there.
South is really working on sort of a set offense here, not trying to rush it to goal, maintain possession. Another great cut, just a little high there. Kelly McKinnon.
Gabrielle Coben starting this with the restart there, and she gives it to our player, Megan Carney.
A little shooting space violation there, which will result in a free position. Defense will go behind. This is a tough angle for her, so we'll see if she goes in or.
Interesting angle there that she had to approach from. See her did a little bit of a unique kind of wind up there. I'm kind of sure what was going through her mind in terms of where am I going to put this ball here. South, this possession looking a lot better for the South than the last few. They had a broken play in transition, a really solid defensive effort from the North on the possession prior to that. South getting some good looks here, at least in this possession.
Looks like South's putting some pressure on this ride. Stop that ball. Good coverage downfield. Really making them work for this ball.
The South team has been very, very aggressive here in the middle of the field. Made quite a few plays already in this game, and we're only midway through the first half. And now we got some transition play here.
Little 3v3. Oh, she looks like she's going to goal there. That looked like full steam ahead on that 3v3.
The confidence of Megan Carney. You know, she just seems like one of those players early on that, you know, when the ball's in her stick, something's going to happen. Has the confidence to go to the net in a situation like this. And just wide on the opportunity there.
And you see she had Coco Creedon down there at the bottom of the arc. Could have dumped a nice little pass, would have given her a one-on-none with the goalie.
Such an interesting, you know, when you get those free possession opportunities. Excellent play there. That was a really good look from Coco Creedon, the attacker going to Babson College from McKinney Boyd High School. Really like that look and kind of that pick play that they just got there, and Megan Carney with the goal. Yeah,
it was just a nice little underneath dodge there, and really as a defender, you never want to give up that inside. So really they kind of double teamed and slide needed to come from the bottom there. But great look and great recognition by Coco to see Megan wide open.
We'll have another draw control here. See which approach that they use to take this draw. Going to be South ball. South playing with some confidence here. Those last two possessions were really good. You know, the one that just resulted in the goal, but the one prior to that, they had the ball for a good amount of time, had a free position opportunity, and just really seemed to have kind of this North team on their heels a little bit defensively.
See another shooting space call there. She's in the line of fire there, not within a stick's length of the attacker. So. You know, that's a tough call, but good recognition by Megan to drive when she saw the defender down low and get that call.
Megan, what have you seen from her early? She's just, you know, she's obviously been a playmaker. What's just kind of making her game special?
Well, I think she's got a lot of confidence. She's not afraid to have the ball in her stick, and she's willing to take the shot. I think, you know, a lot. She's had a lot of 8 meters, which means she's creating opportunities for herself, which is something that you definitely want to see in an attacker that's not afraid to create their own opportunities. And I have to give her credit. She's hustling on every ride, so she's playing both sides. You know, you see her trying to get that ball back in transition and really, really playing well.
Megan was a player who started playing boys lacrosse first. Is how she got into the game. You know, she played watching her brother play lacrosse, and then she's going to Syracuse University. Her high school career has been pretty incredible. You know, looking at some of her stats, she had 92 goals as a freshman. That's something that got to get you in the radar pretty quickly.
Gonna say, I'm sure Gary Gates saw that and knew that he wanted to have her for sure.
Madison Souza is going to be attacking from behind here on the restart. She's going to Vanderbilt University.
You can hear the defense talking there, good talk, communicating, results in a turnover. South defense is very poised down here. They really are holding strong, good body position. Not going to that some great hustle on defense by Sydney Lawrence. Yeah,
great ground ball there, and that's probably about the third really good defensive play she's made. You know, just in this first half here.
Yeah, you see her hustling all over the field. You gotta love that. You know, in a player that's willing to hustle and try and get that ball back.
Really playing solid positioning. You know, and then when she gets the opportunity, she's able to explode to the ball and get that ground ball and really capitalize.
Looks like a little miscommunication there on the pick. Both switched. Nobody was on ball. Good recognition by the attack there to take that shot.
Sophia LaRose with that save there. She'll be going to Duke. She's had a few good saves so far in this early going. Transition play. Looks like a stick might have caught her in the head there. Coco Creedon hit the post there on that opportunity.
That's a great shot by Coco and drawing the foul.
Good feed inside from Natalie Wilson, going to UC Davis to create that opportunity.
You know, South's had a ton of shots in this game, and if they can put it on cage, you know, it's going to be the score's going to go up very quickly. They've just been a little bit wide there on their shots.
Yeah, it's been a razor-thin margin between this being, you know, a 1-goal deficit for them and maybe a 3-goal lead for them. You know, just a few posts. a few free positions that, maybe the shot could have been a little bit better. But so far, the South, I think, is starting to, despite the scoreline, maybe has a little more momentum in this game. Rachel, when you watch young defenders, what do you see of this generation of lacrosse player?
I mean, I think the athleticism continues to grow, and what I love to see, which I'm seeing a lot in this game, is just good footwork. I mean, the check should not be your primary defensive tactic. So you won't see, in a good defender, a lot of times they don't need to check. They just need to hold position and play tight, and I've seen a lot of that in this game. Also, I have seen some great checks in transition as well, which is good to see on the redefend.
The defenders, wow, incredible. Not sure if it was a miscommunication there between the two defenders or just an incredible offensive play from Coco Creedon.
They both, speaking of positioning, they both went for that stick there, went high for her stick, and she just ducked right between them. It was a great move by her.
Coco Creedon with the goal on the free position. She's had an incredible game so far early going, but we're going to see the perspective from the field. Lauren, can you take us through that from the sideline?
Thanks, Matt. So I'm here with Anna Clark, midfielder, going to Tufts University in the fall. This is an exciting time for our sport, women's lacrosse, being that this is the first time in the Adrenaline All-American event for this to be played for females. What does this mean for our sport, and what does this mean for you as a player out of California?
It's definitely a huge step forward for women's lacrosse, and this is one of the most fun events I've ever been to. Meeting all these new girls, playing with them, and one last hurrah, playing with my club teammates. It's really fun.
Awesome. So young girls that are looking up to players like you and want to get to this next level, especially players not from hotbed areas like the East, what is the best advice you can give to them?
I would honestly say just focusing on the little things. There's a lot of the game that you can't control, so focusing on what you can control is definitely a way to break through and create new hotbeds.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Anna. Get back in there. Make your mark. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Lauren. Rachel Lauren's one of the stars in the WPLL. Out here helping to grow the sport and grow the league and grow the game. Just incredible ambassadors that are in your league.
Yeah, I mean, and Lauren played sort of in a newer program down at Florida, which is not another non-traditional area, and that program really rose quickly to success with Mandy O'Leary there. And we're so happy to have her as a midfielder on our Philly Fire team. She is a great ambassador of the sport and will help it grow even more.
It's been a pretty incredible year for women's lacrosse as a whole. We featured on the March cover of Inside Lacrosse, the Collins sisters at Navy, and the theme of that issue was just how women's lacrosse has kind of been leading the way in the sport, about how with the rule changes, with the growth out west, and just many of the great stories in women's lacrosse, it's really kind of paving the way for not just women's lacrosse, but the sport and athletics as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, and the sport just has so many incredible women, and the Collins sisters are a great example, and Jenna plays, in the WPLL, and really just such great role models and ambassadors. I mean, the sport continues to improve every year, and it's getting faster, more athletic, but still maintaining the purity and the intention of the sport. So I think it's really been amazing to see some of these women come along and really continue to allow the game to evolve and grow even more.
Gabby Nixon there with the goal on the free position opportunity. Looks like she gets it just inside that near pipe. Had the goalie kind of shifting to her left and was able to hide her stick well enough to kind of sneak it in there.
Yeah, and this is a big draw here. The North's up 1 with 3 minutes left, so you really want to focus on getting the draw, maintaining possession. And I think the shot clock, in college has been helpful for situations like this. This team cannot, in college, you can't hold the ball for 3 minutes anymore. You got to get a shot off. So we'll see what happens if South gets possession, how they handle it.
It wasn't that long ago that we saw on some of the biggest stages of women's lacrosse, you could hold the ball for 3 minutes in NCAA tournament games, and the rules committees of women's lacrosse have reacted and instituted that shot clock. And I won't say the universal praise, but I think most people have said it's been a very good positive for the sport.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, as a defender perspective, you know, it rewards good defense. If you hold strong and you know, keep them from scoring, you are rewarded with getting the ball back. So I think that's been a great change to the game, and we are doing a 60-second shot clock in the WPLL, which is making the game even faster and holding these attackers to try and go to goal, and it's exciting to watch.
Got some good up and down play here. Kate Mackel with the physical play looks like it's going to draw a whistle there. But really impressed with the way that, you know, there's been a few calls on them, but it's impressive how physical the South has been in the middle of the field. You know, sometimes a little bit out of control with their stick and their body, but really making the effort to make a play in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and then we see Megan Carney in the mix again, helping cause that turnover, really doing a great job for the South. Looks like she's got a double team here.
The South team has been really some nifty passing there and a great save. She was 2 steps ahead of that one right there.
Yeah, and you got a lefty goalie in the cage, which sometimes will throw these attackers off. It's not that common to have a lefty goalie, so she really is taking advantage and really is doing a great job.
Katie McGrath is not going to be outdone. On the other side, it's going to be Sophia LaRose with the big save. Incredible end-to-end play and incredible saves to cap off both of those transition opportunities.
You've got to give these goalies credit. These shots are in tight, and they are doing a great job stuffing these attackers in transition.
And you have to love the pace that this last few minutes has been played at. You know, you made the comment at that draw. It's 3 minutes left. You know, no one can hold the ball here. We've got the exact opposite of that. We've gotten some great up and down play.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they're not afraid to go to goal. Looks like Coco here will have a shot at an 8-meter. Nice finish.
Kate Mackel going to Elon University. Great rebound. Good awareness of where her body was to control that and be able to find some open net and score that goal.
Yeah, really scrappy goal by her, recognizing being in the right place at the right time. Some of these attackers are really, you know, give credit to the goalies, but they're taking these 8 meters right from the 8-meter, which is difficult unless you have a certain level of speed on your shot. So I would imagine these coaches at halftime are going to be talking to them about getting a little closer to the goal, putting some moves on before they're just shooting it right from the 8-meter.
That was an odd release point she had on that shot. Maybe tricked the goalie a little bit. She was kind of in an odd position there on the field and had to get the ball to the net, but got into the top corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of the first half. We have a game tied up at
5-5. We have a great game here to end the first half of play. North for South in the first women's Adrenaline All-America game. Rachel, overall, what are you seeing?
You know, you see by the score there is a lot of parity. I think the White South team had possession a lot more than the North, but the North really did a good job in holding them at the end there. And they've got to have an answer from Megan Carney in the second half, because she's all over the field and she's really dominating. And, you know, taking care of the ball in transition is going to be really important here. We saw a lot of turnovers, which could be a little bit of nerves. Could be a little tired with the pace, but I expect a great second half from both of these teams.
A great first half, tied game. We are going to send it to break. Halftime, 5-5 of the Adrenaline All-America game. Quick look at the first half here, play at the Adrenaline All-America game. we're tied 5-5 as the coaches try to game plan what they're going to do for the second half here.
Yeah, and these girls are competitors. I mean, as much fun as they're having and as much of an honor as this is, you know that they all want to win. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, how the intensity builds for the second half, see who can come away with the win.
We're going to take a look at the first half, and one of the stars of this first half, Megan Carney, the attacker going to Syracuse University, kicked us off, but then, you know, going the other way, a flurry of 3 goals from Brianne Gross for the North squad really started to give them a little bit of a lead. She had 2 goals and then an assist there.
Yeah, and that left-handedness, I think, is posing a little bit of problem there for the South D. Certainly they'll play her a little bit stronger the second half.
Then the North kind of really started to control the latter part of that first half there. Goals from Megan Carney, Kelly McKinnon. Coco Creedon had a really good end of that first half and really had some success drawing some free position shots and then executing as well. Really sent this game 5-5, knotted up, very even match and good plays on both sides. Rachel, if you're coaching this, what are you telling your squad right now?
I mean, I think take care of the ball. I think, you know, there's a lot of turnovers here, you know, in transition. So maintaining, you know, your calm and take care of it and move the ball. You see a little bit of a little bit of standing around on attack. They're not sure of each other. So really focus on moving that ball, keeping the defense moving. You try and get their heads turned to sneak in for some quick feeds and some goals in transition. I think one-on-one is going to be a tough way to score here. So look to see a lot more passing, a little bit more movement from these offenses.
That's the message. We'll see if they execute after the break.
Smartest team today. Let's go. Let's go. Team on 3, 1, 2, 3, 3.
Adrenaline's been a great sponsor for us this year. We came in and got all new gear. We got some new jackets and some shooter shirts and some new uniforms. All this stuff's been really light.
It was light, it was comfortable.
They are the product on the West Coast, and that's spreading to the East Coast.
Heading into the second half here, a look back at the first half and some of the key stats that we have here. Draw controls, the North 16-7. Didn't seem that lopsided from our vantage point. Shots are pretty much even, and ground balls, though, for the North is really a key.
Yeah, I mean, ground balls will win you games. And getting those ground balls and those scrappy plays are really what makes a difference.
Really great, you know, the save numbers, they're not exorbitant, but I thought the saves were key, you know, 5 and 6 saves respectively there. Katie McGrath and Sophie LaRose, the first half goalies there for the North and South, I thought did an excellent job. Playing in that first half, we'll see if they're the new goalies who come in can kind of keep that up and make some of those draw dropping saves. Opening draw here of the second half. Knotted up. So basically it's 0-0. 30 minutes to see who can win, the North or the South, in the Adrenaline All-America game. The first ever for women's lacrosse. Another ground ball from the North squad. That was Anna Clark. Like you said, ground balls are going to win you games. Some more defense here.
It was an excellent maintain of possession there. They played solid D. She went to the ground and still held the ball in her stick. So that's good stick work by the attacker there.
Sydney Lawrence, they're playing defense. She's been a force all game for the South team.
We're gonna have a yellow card here. Check to the head. So the team staff will play man down now for the extent of that penalty.
You must love this. Talking about defenders more than we're talking about the attackers in this game, I think.
Very biased. I can't deny that, but got to give the defenders some love, you know.
Rachel Hall with her first shot of the day, and she gobbles that one up. She's going to the University of Oregon.
Here comes Megan Carney again with that great catch off the clear. Really controlling the ball in the midfield. She's got 3 girls chasing her, which goes to show you they've taken notice, and they're not going to let her have any easy goals this half.
Really protecting the ball well with her stick. It looks like she kind of has some eyes in the back of her head there as she's being chased, but seemingly able to just move the stick right at the best time. So just one of those very poised players. And Sydney Lawrence, going to see her on the other end of the field here. Passes it to Megan.
Quickly gives it back to Megan. Another double team on her, so South is man down with the card, so they're able to stay on that double and really work on that turnover.
So, Rachel, you're in the midst of the first season for WPLL. How would you say it's going so far?
It's been great. I mean, we're really excited about, you know, our first season and watching these women play, and just been very impressed with the level of play of these women. Right now, you know, we're in week 3. The Baltimore Brave have been pretty dominant in the first 2 weeks, so it'll be interesting to see if that continues through the season or one of the other teams step up. Kylie Ohlmiller is now for her first game with the New York Fight today. I expect her to make an immediate impact with them. She's got Taylor Cummings, Zoe Stukenberg. So, you know, New York Fight, I think, is going to be also a really strong contender. Excited to see what they're able to do together. They've got 5 Tewaratons between the 3 of them, so I think they'll do some damage for sure.
That's not bad. Taylor Cummings, you know, one of the all-time greats. Excellent play here from the north.
Yeah, we talk about fake high, shoot low. She came in low and shot high, just as effective. So really nice awareness there by Brianne Gross.
Brianne Gross is having herself a game. You know, I don't think she's had she's different from Megan Carney on the other end. Megan, you know, has the ball in her stick and starts a lot of the plays. Brianne finishes the plays. You know, plays really well off ball and gets open and finishes shots.
Yeah, that was a great placement by her with that shot.
Believe that's a hat trick for Brianne, who also has an assist. Not a bad way in a game full of all-stars to really stick out there.
Megan Carney always seems to find a way to possess the ball. She's really leading this attack for the South, doing a nice job.
Brianne got into lacrosse. Her best friend played when she was 9 years old, so she started to play. Which it's so many people's, you know, I'm always fascinated with people's introduction to the sport. You know, when's the first time you picked up a stick? And so many people are discovering it, whether it's a friend, from my case, it was my high school hockey coach who just wanted me to do something in the spring. Really interesting to see how people find the sport and fall in love with it and make it their livelihood and make it their life.
Yeah, and the opportunities continue to grow. You know, in Baltimore, it's always been, you know, they're born and they get handed a lacrosse stick. Now you see other areas. You've got kindergarten leagues. You've got first, you know, toddlers playing, and it's really just interesting to see how early some of these kids are getting exposed to the game and are able to be such great players by the time they're through elementary school.
Getting into the second half here. You know, it seems like players are a little bit more familiar with each other, you know each other's tendencies a little bit. You know, some of the sloppiness maybe we had in the first is starting to go away a little bit. We had a nice run there late in the first half of some end-to-end action. Slowed down a little bit right now, but Megan Carney, wow, just forcing her way to the net.
Yeah, really just confident and strong with the ball. You know, there was some good defense, but she really just fought through that and was able to get by 3 defenders and with a nice shot.
It's got to be frustrating for a defender there. You don't really feel like maybe you didn't do anything really overtly wrong, but just, you know, kind of a player overpowers you and How do you react to that?
I mean, I think the help needs to be ready when she has the ball. Everyone should be sort of on high alert, and early doubles to her with good positioning, force her to get rid of the ball and put it in somebody else's stick. She's really been a force here for the South.
Taking a look at the draw here. The North has had some really good luck on ground balls, really making those battles. But the South comes up with this one. Ground ball from Caitlin Jones, going to San Diego State University. She gets it to Quinlan Mason, who's going to UC Berkeley. A lot of these California schools well represented here at this Adrenaline All-America game.
Zoe Durham going hard to goal there. Play at Yale next year. She got this illegal check to the head.
Incredible release there, just a little bit outside, hits the pipe and bounces out, but good ground ball from South to maintain possession there. Really love the way that Megan Carney was able to just, before the ball was even in her stick, she had a good shot placement on that.
Yeah, and she's really captaining this offense, and I think they all recognize it, and they're letting her sort of lead the way.
Really nifty shot. Megan Carney fed it inside. And that was Caitlin Jones with kind of the her back facing the net, trying to fool the goalie there. South really pressuring them right now.
Yeah, and they give that back to South. It looked like might be a North turnover there, but ball's back in South behind the cage. Dangerous play back there with the defender going all the way out. Great
really,
hustle.
Look at that hustle right there. She's been an incredible player through this game, going to Babson College.
Yeah, maybe not as flashy as Carney, but you see her involved in these key plays, really fighting for each ball. You need somebody like that on your offense. That's
the kind of play that, you know, I'm sure her coach is watching at home and fist pumping right now, because that's exactly what you want to see from one of your future players. You know, the goals and assists are one thing, but it's all the other plays that you know, the coaches just love that stuff.
That is a great look by Megan Carney. They set her up for an isolation, and she just jumped it right back in to a wide open attacker. A great vision by Megan, and recognizing she maybe didn't have the shot, but gave it right to her teammate who was able to get the shot off.
She's showing Gary Gate a lot of good stuff in terms of you know, she can run an offense, she can pass, she can score, she can do a little bit of everything. Quinlan Mason just hit the pipe there on that attempt. The North's got to find a little bit of an answer for her, and also just need to get maybe a long possession here, or just something to kind of turn the tide of, you know, that was a long time they were playing defense there.
Looks like they're giving it back to White here.
Oh, even longer time.
Now I'm not sure what that call was there. I didn't see a foul on North. That D's got to be tired.
You got to be tired. They had multiple scoring opportunities that they had to defend against. They had that Coco Creedon saving that ball on the end line, on the sideline there. So really, they've been playing a lot of defense here. They need someone to make a play.
Just struggling to come up with these key ground balls, and when they do get possession, they need to take their time, maintain possession, really put it in the net. It's Megan Carney again. Did a nice job there stopping her momentum.
Excellent change of direction from her. Gets it to Kelly McKinnon, who's had a great game as well.
Looks like a check to the head here. Crowd doesn't like that call very much, but
one guy in particular, the crowd doesn't seem to like that call very much.
You know, if you're Team North here, you really got to stay within yourselves, stay focused. When you get tired is sort of when you start to feet stop moving, take those chances. So they really need to just stay focused, try and get a turnover and possess the ball.
Each one of these restarts has got to be just more frustrating and more frustrating. Seeing them continue to get the ball. Excellent poise by the South, though, to not, you know, in their own right, get frustrated that they haven't scored in this long possession. And here we go, we have a play.
Brianne Gross there playing great defense, getting her team the ball back.
Haley Andrews going to try to get this ball out of their zone. But it's thrown away. Kelly McKinnon gets the ball, throws it in transition to Natalie Wilson. A pass inside just goes a little bit high, but that was an excellent takeaway there from Kelly McKinnon.
Yeah, the South redefend has been relentless here, really given the North a tough go trying to transition it out of their defensive end.
You know, we saw that early in the game. They made a few plays at midfield on the ride, and they're continuing to redefend it. Excellent here. Save there from Abigail Young. She's going to the United States Naval Academy.
Yeah, and really, you know, the Naval Academy, another program that's really come to stardom in the last few years. Cindy Tim Shaw, sort of one of the all-time greatest coaches, and has really done an amazing job with that program. It's really fun to see sort of the parity grow within the sport.
And finally, it looks like the North got it out. This could be a huge change of momentum here, and it is.
It didn't take them long to possess, but they were productive. So that's what you want to see there. North is surprising given time of possession that they're holding the lead here.
That was an excellent finish and way to change momentum. Lauren, what are you seeing from field level? Who are you talking to?
Thank you, Matt. I'm here with Kaylin Young. She is headed off to San Diego State University. You were originally from Connecticut but moved out to California. What was your decision-making in staying in California and going close to home?
Well, I moved to California when I was about 10, so I kind of knew what it was like to live on the East Coast, and I just love California a lot more. And I'm super close with my family, so I wanted them to be able to come watch my games, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So what's it kind of been like out there? Run us through the experience. Is the game faster? How is it different from your high school play right now?
The game is a lot faster. You know, this is all the top players on the West Coast, so it's much faster than high school or any club game that I've ever played, but it's super fun. Everyone's really good, so it's easy to play together, and everyone's playing really tough. So
awesome. Thank you so much, Kaylin. Have fun. Get back out there. Let's go. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lauren. Really frustrating if you're the South to, you know, have possession for that long, not get anything, and then the North come down and score.
Yeah, they've got to convert on some of these opportunities, but credit to the North for sticking with it. You can see they're slowing it down a little bit, trying to maintain possession, give their D a little bit of a break, and try and get something started here.
Abigail Young, who had that save going to the Naval Academy, that led to the outlet, led to the goal that made it 7-6. Excellent poise on her part in terms of just having to be focused for that long on that defensive stand there. Now the North is, like you said, slowed it down. Maybe try to give their D some rest and get a goal in the process here. Balanced offensive effort from them. You know, you see in terms of, you see Brianne Gross, you know, scoring the bulk of the goal for this team, but really in terms of touches, I feel like the ball's been distributed pretty well.
Shot saved by Rachel Hall.
Probably a shot that they don't want to take there.
Actually, they called that a dangerous shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's yellow carded for that. Defenders in the way, they would consider that a dangerous shot. So she comes off now with a yellow card. It's unfortunate. I think Rachel was ready to transition that right up the field, but whistle slowed her down.
She saw the green light and wanted to go.
Absolutely.
Even if that wasn't a dangerous shot, it probably was not a well thought out shot, given you want to hold the ball there a little bit and kill some time.
Yeah, and you'd like to see that in a goalie, that kind of confidence. The WPLL for the first time this year, goalies can score. So it'll be interesting to see if any of the goalies are able to take it down and finish for the WPLL this year.
Do you have odds on which goalie's going to be the first one to score?
I think it's going to be Molly Wolf, just sheer wool. She's pumped about it, and she wants her name in the stats book. So my bet's on Molly.
Sydney Lawrence has been getting it done on the defensive end all day. A great goal there to tie it up. Excellent change of direction for her. She looks back, I think, to see her numbers and see what she's gotten, and changes direction twice there and bounces it into the net.
Nice finish.
She's had an incredible game today.
Yeah, it's nice to see some different faces here step up in this game and really keep this game tight. It's great to watch, see the parity here between the North and the South. It's going to be interesting to see who's able to pull this one out.
Adrenaline, you know, based on with teams in the West Coast. and out in the West, and we're seeing so much talent from the West. And, you know, women's lacrosse, we've talked already about the Pac-12 and what that means for the sport. But there's several programs in California, throughout the West that, you know, really just showcase the growth of the game, and women's lacrosse has been at the epicenter of all of that. It's a really exciting time to be a fan.
And we see Sydney Lawrence here on the nice check from behind. You see Sydney Lawrence here in the South really being a chaser for the South team, really double teaming, going for the ball, and you can see it's having an effect on Team North. They're not able to possess. It's shaking them a little bit here.
"75 calls turnovers in 2017 in her high school career for Sydney Lawrence. Her mom found out about the sport and signed her up for it in the 5th grade. That's how she picked up a stick. She'll be at the University of Oregon. Defensive MVP in 2017 in her league. And she's showing all that today.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with her defensive ability today. Just relentless, trying to get that ball back. Go a big clear here. Who else but Megan Carney taking that clear?
You love Rachel Hall, the excitement she's showing back there.
Yeah, you got to love that kind of energy in a goalie. And it oftentimes, the goalie's setting the tone for your team. You can tell she's loose, she's having fun. It's giving her decent confidence.
When Carney got that pass, she jumped up into the air, and you know, I kind of think she was hoping that there's going to be someone with her there to celebrate, but she's all the way back there in net.
Just really solid attack from Coco Creed, and she's staying within herself, maintaining possession, and really forcing the D here. She's gotten a lot of foul calls just because she's really holding strong in possession, and D's losing patience and fouling her on these possessions. It was a great move. Needed a little more oomph on that shot.
You mentioned that going into the break about those free position shots. Maybe not, you know, maybe the teams have been kind of settling for just throwing the ball right away. She took a nice move, got to the center, and had a better angle, but that shot she just didn't execute the shot there.
It's another tough turnover for North in transition here, giving this ball right back to the South.
Rachel Hall has been looking to make something happen. You get a sense she just wants to run it upfield right here.
It's a nice cut by Sydney.
Battles through a few defenders there. Few people going at her. She's able to keep the ball.
Little body check there. You can see South seems so much more comfortable in their transition, taking their time with the passes, really not rushing anything. They're just really having a hard time finishing their shots. Give credit to the goalies. Oh, that one got stuck up under her. Oh, it's in her helmet. You don't see that every day.
We're going to throw it down to the field for Lauren for another interview.
Thanks, Matt and Rachel. I'm here with Lindsay Gillis, head coach of the North team. What should we expect from your team, or what do we need to expect or see from your team to come out on top, judging that this game is coming down to the wire, 7-7, tied up?
Yeah, I mean, these guys all move the ball so well, and it's been fun to see them put together some transitions and utilize each other in the attacking end. So we're just looking to have them take care of the ball and really wait for that golden opportunity to bury that ball. You know, these goalies are so good, and you've got to move them, change your levels. So looking to make some better passes and possess the ball.
Awesome. And how does it feel to be the first coach of the 2018 Adrenaline All-American Games?
It's so fun to be here. The girls are so privileged to get this opportunity, and they're all excited to play, especially in the venue. It's been a really fun weekend for everybody.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lindsay. Good luck.
Opportunity there for the South team. Lydia Faust, well defended there. Kind of came in and saved an opportunity along with the goalie, Abigail Young. She's played a great game, Abigail Young.
Yeah, as time winds down here, we've got 10 minutes left. I think see if somebody can kind of go on a run here and blow this game open. Still tied 7-7, so see who's able to pull it out.
We heard in that interview there, the comment was change levels on the shot. You know, I think it's been a theme today. There's been some missed opportunities because maybe we had the high-to-high shot earlier, and maybe just a few shots that just weren't very well executed could be the difference in this game.
Yeah, and she said it as well. Maintaining possession in transition has been really difficult for North. You can give credit to the South ride there, but North's got to maintain possession if they want to get the ball.
Excellent save from Abigail Young there, stepping out to the ball. Really poised and confident in the net. Both goalies here in the second half.
See a little, you know, the little unsure there. You bring this out just given the amount of turnover. So see what North is able to bring it down safely, maintain possession. Looks like they're taking their time a little bit.
Taking their time. South's had more possession in this game, you know, been able to clear better and better able to just, you know, hold on to the ball in the offensive zone. But the North has had a few goals quickly into possessions.
Yeah, they're being efficient about it. They haven't had the ball very much, but when they do, they are converting, which I'm sure frustrating for South, but, you know, they've got to put the ball in the net.
Some good defense there. She maybe gets a little bit behind her there on
just couldn't quite handle it. That was a good look. She's triple team jumping that off. And
Rachel Hall. She's been dying to do this.
You can tell she's wanted to do this for a while. She gets it out past the 50. Safely down.
Oh, her efforts cause a great opportunity, but just not able to hold on to the ball there and finish that. Rachel Hall showing off some athleticism inside and outside the net. South here's got, so you got a tie game and you got a little under 8 minutes left. If you're a coach on the sidelines, what are you telling your players right now?
You know, each possession matters as time runs down. And you see, look, they looked like they were trying to do an ISO there from Megan, but Blue read it and was able to stop it. Another great save by Abigail Young.
Abigail Young match sticks there and just stop that. She's been on a tear the second half.
Yeah, and she's faced a lot of shots, so I give her a lot of credit for staying strong in there and really giving South a difficult way. We got a ball's coming out to the 12 here.
Obviously, a big part of this game plan is going to be Megan Carney, getting her the ball. How do you defend her? But then there's other players who are, you know, able to execute as well. Kelly McKinnon has a goal in this game today.
Yeah, and you'll notice here that these girls are stopping on the whistle, and free movement made its way to college this year, and it's certainly something we're doing in the professional league, and really changes the game a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. Oh, a nice finish there.
Excellent bounce shot there.
The collegiate athletes have adapted really well to free movement, you know, and the professionals as well. I think it's just a much different way to play, and I think it's been a great rule change for the sport overall.
Bailey Monjazeb with that goal, a great bouncer, got just inside that far pipe. Good look from Kelly McKinnon from behind the net to get the ball to her. You know, we just were saying about executing those shots, and she just found a way to do that.
So it'll be a really crucial draw control as time starts to wind down. See if the North can answer.
And the South has shown that it can certainly kill some time on its possessions. They've had a few lengthy possessions here. You know, so if they get the ball down there, it might be a while before the North sees it again.
Ooh. It was an accidental trip there, unfortunately. She tripped over the defender's foot. Strong move to goal by Megan Carney.
And Megan Carney out there giving it her all, making some strong, aggressive moves.
I would expect her to shoot this here, given what we've seen from her in the 8 meters. See if that, nope.
Oh, take some more conservative approach there.
Probably the right move, being up 1 with this amount of time left. You don't want to force any shots. You want to make sure you've got a good opportunity, high probability of scoring.
Some good defense. Someone got a stick on that one. But again,
the ground balls are really giving the North a hard time. They're getting stopping South, but if they don't get these ground balls, they're not going to be able to score. Looks like they're getting tired. You see some cutters here wide open in the 8. they've just been on defense too much, I think, at this point for them.
You've got just over 4 minutes left. At what point do you start to maybe get a little near opportunity there from Zoe Durham going to Yale University? If you're a defender, at what point do you start to maybe get a little more aggressive and try to make something happen here?
Yeah, I think soon. There's 4 minutes left, so that still is a lot of time. But I would up the intensity level, and at some point here in the next 2 minutes, I'll probably pull the goalie out and double team just to get possession back. It's tough. They really, again, you feel bad for the North defense here, just being on defense most of this game. You can tell they're getting a little tired.
Kelly McKinnon with that, assisted by who might be the player of the game, Megan Carney there. But Kelly McKinnon's had a great game as well.
You have this running clock. They've got to get back there and really, North's got to get possession and get a quick goal and bring it back to center. See if they can tie this up here in the last 3 minutes.
This draw is absolutely crucial here. Quinlan Mason for the South. Aaron Schaefer representing the North. This could be the game here, depending on what happens.
Got a trip on White there, unlucky, and good fight by both those girls, really knowing the importance of that ground ball and putting it all out there.
We'll see what they can do. They have shown an ability to score quickly. They'll need to do so if they want to have a chance at a comeback in this game. But another missed opportunity there.
And I think turnovers and ground balls have really been the story of this game. When they have managed to get possession, the North's just been really a little sloppy on their passes and given South more opportunities to score and possess.
The South has got the ball now with just 2 minutes left. Look to kill some clock here.
Yeah, and if I'm the White South coach now, I'm telling them that if they're going to take a shot, it should be a 99.9% that it's going to go in. They've got 2 minutes left. They're up 2. There's no sense in rushing a shot or taking a bad opportunity here. See a little bit more aggressiveness by North, which is really at this point what they have to do, try and get possession back, double team, really push out on defense, try and rattle the South a little bit, see if they can get a turnover.
These players will be, next step for them is college, but want to kind of culminate, maybe their high school club careers with something special here in the final minutes of this game on this really grand stage.
It's a great save by Abigail Young. It's going to be tight here with a minute left. They've got to have a quick transition.
One minute remaining in the game.
They're looking to go down the field. They're going to have to move quickly. I'm sure if the ball just came out of her stick or if Kelly McKinnon got a piece of that.
Yep, nice check by Kelly. Good effort. Really impressed with both of these teams. I think wish we could have seen North on attack a little more, see what they were able to do. Oh, look at that. Oh, no. Wide open net.
Another missed opportunity. That's a tough one.
A little aggressive by the goalie there. 30 seconds left, but
the goalie, Rachel Hall, likes to live on the edge, apparently. Gotta love the fight here at the end. This is about 30 seconds ago, this game could have just been running out the clock, but we have a last second possession here to try to make something happen and at least cut it to a 1-goal game. But that will be it. 3 seconds left, 2-1, and the South wins. 9-7, winning the first Adrenaline All-American game, representing the best in the West. South rules in this one. Rachel, what was the story of this game?
Time of possession, turnovers, and transition, really, for South. They had a great ride. They were forcing turnovers, and Megan Carney was tough to stop. I don't think they had an answer for her. She really led the way for the South, and I think North would like a few of those possessions back, maybe take better care of the ball, take their time, really capitalize on some of those opportunities.
And we're going to look a little bit at Megan Carney. You know, this is her goal and to start the second half here. But it was back and forth here in the second half with some really good effort from the North as well. Brianne Gross had a goal to start the half for the North scoring, and it was back and forth until, you know, kind of late in the game. And this goal right here from Megan Carney might have been one of the ones that set the game apart.
Yeah, that great pick and roll. Very simple play, but very well executed by South.
You see Megan's accolades here, just going in that, very aggressive. And that's an excellent finish there on the near side. This game showcased lots of talent here. You know,
yeah.
I think you can look at these rosters and say, these players come from everywhere, and they're really good.
Yeah, it's my first trip to Texas watching lacrosse, and I have been very impressed with what I've seen. Really proud of these girls and the effort they put in today. And it's the future is bright for Western lacrosse.
For you, someone who's been so involved with the sport and has played at the highest level, how meaningful is it for you to watch something like this and see this next group?
Oh, it's amazing to watch sort of the next generation of great lacrosse players come through, and you know, so happy to be a part of it and really watch these girls just really, you know, play their hearts out and represent the sport so well.
Represent the sport so well is the perfect way to put it. You know, not just athletically in what they do on the field, but, you know, all weekend, you know, you've seen a lot of the older kids have been really taking, you know, these younger club teams that are also playing this weekend, taking them and kind of showing them the ropes and showing them a good time and interacting with them. But we're going to send it down to the field. We have a special presentation of the MVP.
It is my great pleasure to introduce the MVP of the 2018 Adrenaline All-American Award, going to Megan Carney. Congratulations. Congratulations. What's running through your mind right now?
It's really cool being the first girls game out here and just taking home the dub.
What was your experience like going throughout this whole weekend?
It was really cool, just like seeing everyone come from the West, and just shows how much the game's grown.
So, Megan, you're heading off to Syracuse this fall. What can we expect from you within the next 4 years?
National championship.
You heard it here, folks. Congratulations, Megan.
Look at the stats in this game here. The South, 25 shots. Ground balls even, but it felt a little bit like the opportunities that the North just were able to you know, either blown opportunities or missed passes were kind of the difference in those possessions there.
Yeah, and I think if we had turnovers up here, that would sort of tell the story of the game. The North really just turning the ball over too many times to get anything started.
Megan Carney there, bold in her MVP acceptance. What's next for her? She says a national championship at Syracuse. We'll see what's next for all of these athletes the next few years as they go into college and maybe beyond to the WPLL. But this has been a great experience for the Adrenaline All-American game, the first girls edition of this game.
Yeah, this has been a great showing by the girls in the West. And, you know, Megan Carney, I love to see that kind of confidence. She's making a bold statement there, and I'm sure Gary would agree with that. But really just great to see this growth, and I think as the years go on, this game will get better and better.
That's it here from the Star in Frisco. I'm Matt Kinnear, Rachel DeCecco. We are out. Thanks for joining us for the Adrenaline All-America game.